We're back for another video, and we hope that you guys enjoy this. This one is about porn and when I started, why I started, the reasons why I no longer can watch it, right? It's a little bit different, but it's okay. All right, so because everything's been going on, the struggles that we all have, and the disappointment, the guilty times, whatever we have, right? Welcome in, everybody. We are talking about this because it is one of the 100%. Like, it can be disgusting and it also can be hot at the exact same time. So because of that, it's time for me to come out and explain everybody or tell everybody what I did, how I got into it, the circumstances, just everything. So the reasons why things went on is because, so it's going to be much different. And because we're going so far and we're going to take this to a whole new level, there is one choice that people can make every single time that that they have to end up realizing that when you talk about sex now we're talking about a subject that is super wide open, and doors are lead to all sorts of things. The reasons why I started watching porn is because I started noticing girls, I started spending time with people, doing drugs, obviously weed, piping it up, whatever, smoking cigarettes, and then started vaping, and then led to drinking and to relationships that I will talk about most likely tomorrow or tonight. If everybody is new to this channel, welcome in. So within the last 9 years, so I started hanging out with those kind of people, and just thinking that this was awesome, and thinking that my life was going to be not where it is today. I thought I was going to be at the top of the ring, and obviously just noticing that there's a lot of circumstances that are on the table, right? So when I first thought about it, when I thought of a man and woman, I didn't really know about it until obviously junior high, because that's usually when your emotions, you start being happy. You start showing, girls start showing their boobs and just all sorts of things there. And because I'm not guilty of any of this, I'm not ashamed of what I say. It is a lot to take in. And people can watch porn and they don't have to feel guilt. Well, when you build a foundation around one exact thing, right? You think, okay, this girl is hot, so I'll follow her on her social media. And this one is beautiful, or this one is super wild, and that they're into having sex all the time. Well, when you start talking about porn, now you start dealing with the personal issues that have to do, obviously, it's generation to generation, going from family member to grandparents, down the line, maybe 100 years. Who knows how long this is? So my dad, obviously, had a boner, whatever, or significant under, whatever it might be. And so, even though that porn is, it's a global thing that people, almost every single guy or woman or people in general, they watch porn because they want to feel happiness for 5 minutes. They're trying to find their orgasms. They're trying to say, okay, well, if I'm with this guy or this girl, maybe I won't have to cheat on them. Maybe I don't have to go out of my way to approach it. Well, I'm not ashamed, right? And now, even though that there's times and temptations that come up, porn is one of the difficult things that men or people, everybody is going to struggle with, and sometime in their life, and they're not willing to. Sometimes people are not willing; they're willing to hide it, and then maybe down the line they might end up in prison because of all of it. Maybe in line they might end up dead. They might do things that they wish they didn't do. They were guilty. They were ashamed. Well, when my family figured out that I was watching porn, it seemed to be a lot of changes from junior high to high school. And obviously, I'm still in high school when all this is starting. So, I had sex with a woman, and that's what started my getting an erection, getting a boner, getting all the stuff. And, I'm not ashamed of it because there's almost all the time, there's more of a temptation to not just give in, but to start reacting to it, to now acting it out like porn shows do or whatever. You watch rated R movies, there's going to be some sexual acts, there's going to be alcohol, there's going to be cigarettes, there's going to be something wrong with this. And so it's going to be a lot. So back in 2017, going into 2017, I met this girl, and man, she was like a perfect porn star. Just we were about to hit it off, and well, not knowing that about 2 years later, I'm going to end up, or a year or two later, I'm going to end up basically getting in trouble with my best friend. I was at the end of my rope and didn't really want to spend time with anybody besides her. My friend knew that. I started watching porn more. Then I started going to school, and going to school, it's like that's just the way it is. Um, but I'm not really interested in it, right? So even though that I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll just go along with it. So I started going to parties and spending time with people, and disappearing for up to 4 days, up to a few days. I would skip school just to even go to these parties. Um, I'd do drugs with people. I'd be honestly doing weed and smoking cigarettes at 17 years old, not knowing if there was ever a chance that I was ever going to come back. And now I see a beautiful woman out walking up the street. There still is, like I said, temptations are going to come up in all of our lives. And when I used to go to therapy, past tense, a long time ago, that's all I wanted to do was have sex with them, and I don't know why. And then I would tell my coworkers, and then I would post on Facebook, and it just kept on going. But then I started going to church, and it seemed to be a bigger challenge to accept that I was wrong. But don't get me wrong. After 9 years, after 10 years of this, it's an ongoing battle. It's more than an addiction of saying, you know what, I'm a smoker, I'm a drinker, this is what's going on. There's sometimes I can't even sleep unless I've been happy enough for the day. And those times I can't sleep, I try to reach out, I try to do things. I obviously go on walks, I do activities. Getting this boner in high school, obviously it has affected me in the last 5-ish, 6, 7 years, whatever. Well, this is just 18, and then somewhere down the line, I ended up in the hospital because it was all right. So I go in there for a week. It seems like it's a long time. I'm not really eating like I want to. Um, Somehow, I was about to burn down the garage. I was a crappy kid at 17, and then going into 18, I started smoking cigarettes more, and then family started noticing, and then people from church or youth group were starting to see my reflections from like a 12-year-old kid being a teenager, and then changing it to now. It's like, you know what? I'm glad I did everything I did because I can't regret it a day in my life. Um, well, slowly my family was being patient with me, and then going into 2018, it just affected me to, well, maybe what's the point of going into it? Because I knew it going into 17 that if I kept on down this road, that it was never going to end. And obviously, I get a boner no matter what place I'm at. Well, last in August, the last 3, 4 August is since 2018. I've been going to jail, doing things, accepting that I was wrong, thinking that while I'm in there with people that obviously were worse than me, and taking their cars, and reacting in a way that, well, you know what, porn's not that bad, and they're having sex in jail or in prisons, and you're thinking at 17, 18 years old, you're starting to question your life. But even though that I'm going through all this, it's like, part of life, right? I'm happy, I'm excited, I know that there is a reason, and, I don't have to hide it anymore. Well, after I got out, I went to Denver and Colorado area, and you know what? People are stupid and wild in their own lives too. They said I did some weird bullshit, whatever, which I don't even know. They said that I saw a man or somebody in the shower, and it made them feel uncomfortable. And obviously, I'm just this 17, 18 years old, or whatever, not knowing, thinking that life is all a game. And well, then I started picking up vaping, and down the road, I had two relationships because of pornography. I started doing everything that they were doing. I was starting to, like I said, I started reacting to it. I started doing, I started basically doing everything that they would do in porn. And it's a difficult thing, right? Even though that I'm a kid, and 10% of the population thinks everybody's a kid because they're not. Like this little baby that's growing up that doesn't know any better. But I wouldn't be here if it was for my family. I probably would still be in jail. And, even after 7 years later, it's like, have I learned my lesson? Those two relationships taught me to not only think positive about these women or whatever, but porn it's an addiction that you'll never be able to escape, right? And so then I'm listening to Jeezy, right? I'm just going on, being stupid. Then I turned 19, and then, who cares, right? If all they're gonna do is shoot me down and cancel me out, tell me that I need to leave. Well, in the first relationship, it starts just like it always is. And then somewhere down the road, they piss me off because I can't be in the same room with them because of X amount of things that I was saying and doing. And I was drinking. So you add drinking, you add smoking, you add nicotine, you start adding issues. Now you start questioning your whole life, right? You start questioning if this is the right path. Yes, every single day I'm getting older, and it's it's never getting easier, right? I'm just about to hit my peak pretty soon here in about a little over a month, back in August. So yeah, I'm almost September maybe, which is different, but just the way it is. And even though that I'm bullshitting with people, I'm going out partying, doing drugs, whatever, I'm thinking that this is life, right? They're coming over, girls are coming over, their friends are coming over, they want to have sex, they want to do this, they want to videotape ourselves. So some way, shape, or form, I had a three-way, and it was not like porn, right? There might be fighting in there once in a blue moon in a video or whatever, but this was a three-way that never should have started. It was more like the friend was jealous that I was with so-and-so, and because of that, it's fucked up my head, right? And you know how life is. It's going to mess you up. It's going to bring you down. It's going to beat you. It's going to beat you and beat you and beat you until you're ready to realize that you're wrong. Well, going to 19, 20 years old, I'm thinking that this is just a funny laugh, right? Well, down the road, I didn't know that I would basically continue drinking for the next 5 years. And well, just barely on 60 days. Oh, 68 days, 67 days, 67 days today, right? And the reason why I started drinking at 12:15 was because it was the time that I would have sex with people. I would have it for 12 to 13 hours a day, and then going to Wendy's, working, and constantly thinking, having everybody be jealous about me, just wherever I'm at, whether it's normal, whether it's not, whether it's common. And then they're starting to get all bitchy, then they're starting to get all witchy, and they're just turning into a mess, right? And then you add three neighbors that are drug dealers. You have neighbors that are alcoholics. Back at this old place a long time ago, and they seem to want to put me in a noose almost every single day until I drink uh, vodka, wine, everything. Well, somewhere down the line, I kind of broke up with her, and I left her just like I always do. I guess seems to be the trend that runs through my whole family back to the mid-centuries, a long time ago. Now, people could say that I'm wrong, and I'm wrong, right? I've already explained that 300 times that I was wrong. Not only am I wrong, I'm accepting that there is a confusion that people are like, wait, he's not weird, he's dumb. Or he's not drunk, he's high. Or if it's not high, he's popping pills. And I started popping pills, sleep aids, and then I started gaining weight, and then I started losing weight, and I kept on just drinking and constantly going to the gym. Um, what turned out to be the gym was a bowling alley, right? I kept on going every single day, and whether there was a lane open, and then boom, I turned into a mess for 2 freaking years. And here we are. Slowly, porn seemed to come back, and it was still beating at me. I was still going to church, I was still doing this. And, I felt guilty for going to church after I came to a conclusion that I thought this was it. There's nothing else in life that I'm going to handle, so I might as well start taking pills. Well, then we're catching up to this last relationship, and you're just like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. I I just don't care. And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? You need to start caring about your life and take everything seriously. So then I started seeing a therapist. Sorry, I'm anyway, awesome. Surprise! I'm still addicted to. Well, I can't even look at a woman without lusting after her. It says in the Bible, if you lust after a woman, you've lusted. Like, it's an ongoing battle, right? And I learned about lust at 13, 12. I've been learning about lust for all my life. So it was really not even 10 years. 6 years. And even though that I'm addicted to vaping now or nicotine, I can't seem to let go. And there's times that it's if I don't have it, I will bounce off the walls. I'll go whack. I'll turn into. I'll sit in a dark room and chew to that over saying, you know what, I don't need the pill bottle or I don't need the nicotine. But I've been going through it like crazy, and so sometime in 2025, there's going to be a requirement that maybe menthol is going to be required for people, and they're starting to take prime times away, or they already did. And so, I used to popping sleep aids and popping Advil, not knowing what the side effects were. There was even times I did acid when this all happened. The times I did acid, I'm obviously not watching porn. I'm freaking out to death because I don't know what I'm putting in my system. Well, who knows what they're putting in their system every day? We eat our food. We don't even know if chicken is chicken. We don't even know if burgers are actual meat. We don't even know if steak is actual meat. Like, it's an ongoing battle. But there has to be a reason why we say, why we do, why we watch, why we continue. And then recently there was a time that just has been eating at me, and I should become a porn star, and there's no questions asked, and no one's going to get hurt, and you're going to make $5,000. And, even then it's like, well, meeting this girl, it's like, it was a wonderful trip. It's going to be a wonderful time. That's in Los Angeles, obviously, in Florida and Vegas, that I can't seem to sit down at for more than 5 minutes without jumping off and freaking out. Well, even though that this all happened, it's an ongoing battle. I'm still popping pills, and I just continue going. I continue wanting to drink. There's temptations of more drink habits. Well, instead of drink habits, pills, and cigarettes, now it's just nicotine and food, right? Sleep, nicotine, bathing, showers, and porn when this was all going on. But even though that I can become one, I don't want to go out of my way to knowing that I can meet the exact person on the screen and not knowing if everything's going to work out. So to put all the cards on the table, if I continue this path, if you ask somebody in your life or in your time, hey, do you like watching porn? And they're like, I don't know. And they're like trying to figure out who they are, like a gender, like a man or woman. We don't know what we are anymore. Well, even though that I have to respect everyone's wishes, whether they're a man or woman, right? And so if I go and become a porn star, then yeah, I'm reaching the peak that yes, all bets will be off at that point. All bets. I'll give in to my temptations. I'll stop going to church. I'll stop going places. I'll spend time with these chicks, with these girls, with these porn stars, whatever. But like I've been taught, I'm lusting after the wrong thing. I might fall into a cave. Just might. Okay? We don't know what tomorrow is. We don't even discover that tomorrow is actually given to us until we put a trust in Jesus. And the more that I continue doing this, the more I keep thinking and processing all of this. It's like there's a lot of dots and there's a lot of things that I would have to mentally prepare myself that, yeah, you're making $5,000 for having sex for a sex tape, whatever. But I'm also going to be on the internet every single part of it, and in multiple different ways. Now I can accept that and say, you know what, I finally found my reason and purpose, or I can decline it and say, you know what, let's put this one on hold, and I won't pick up the phone call or whatever. But the thing is, I can either have my dream job that I've ever wanted since 17 years old, or I can say, you know what, maybe it's time to just get out there relax, and enjoy the beach that I'm going to go to. Just live one day at a time and take it all at. Whether I move to Los Angeles, Vegas, or Florida, whatever, it's wherever I'm at, I'm going to be unhappy whether I'm pounding and having sex with this. Like, whether I'm eating their ass, whether I'm having sex, whatever it truly is. You have to mentally prepare yourself that what you're about to get into, your life is basically in their hands for the rest of your life, and until you're ready to confess and know that this is it. Like, I prepared myself for the rest of my life that if I continue watching porn or I continue becoming the drug dealer that I never want to, that yeah, I could be putting money in my pocket. Yeah, I could have pictures, I could have girls, I could have everything going on 24 hours a day for 10 years straight. But you have to figure out, is that going to make me happy? Is that going to make you happy by watching this, by eating, by having this guilt eat at you? Well, that comes down to your decision and your decision only, because I can't tell you for the next 10 years that that's it. Like, for me, man, I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. That's the thing. Tomorrow's never given to anybody, and we need to realize that we need to live. So if I want my dream job, I better go after it. If I just want to sit here and be miserable for the rest of my life, maybe I could have a job at home and keep going back. And I'm not there on the weekends or weekdays, and I'm back here on the weekends. But we'll have to see, because this is a lot to just process, to take in, to even. I'm prepared that there's going to be 100% wild, and you're around every single person from 9 to 5 or 10 o'clock until 5 p.m. And sometimes it's because of holidays, it may go longer, or who knows. One way to get into it, if people are even in there, is you're taking a selfie of your full body. You got to make sure that you can have erections. You got to make sure that you can have sex in front of people. Like, you got to mentally prepare that there's also paperwork that you got to sign. You got to wait 8 hours and doing all this stuff. People might smell. People might end up, whatever it might be. I think for the first few takes, you're not allowed to have alcohol, but then they start, if you're of age, depending on the people, they allow people to have alcohol there. But you're there to mentally prepare yourself that you're going to have sex in every single room all over these different 3 states. It might even be longer than that. You're going to random places, like up in the mountaintop, like where Post Malone lives, whatever. Like, we're talking way out there in the middle of $1 million houses, maybe even more than that, $100,000, $5 million, whatever. Now you're just going off the, like, in 5 years, I'd be able to pay for a house in Utah, whatever, or California. 5 years. Now you times that. Now you add 10 years on that, right? Now you can buy everything you've ever wanted. You could have money in your pocket. You could have sex with everybody, and now you're mentally prepared that you're full. Your fridge is full. Now you're making kids. It's a repeating cycle every day. But on this final note, because everything has gotten a little bit weird, the reasons why I started was because there was a temptation, and the reasons why I have ended past tense is because, well, I'm trying to just get outside and do things. I got to live my life the way I want to live my life, right? But it's your choice what you do, whether you're a man or woman, whatever. you want to be called these days in the 21st century or whatever, I'm proud to tell people that whether I go after my dream job or whatever, or I just sit at home, I'm the same person. I'm happy, I'm kind of crazy, funny, but mentally prepare yourself that life can either be, it's what comes out of your mouth is going to be in your heart. What comes out of your heart is going to end up showing who you are. What you put in your mind, what you put in your sight, is going to be a different reaction for everybody. So keep up the good work. We're very proud of you guys. And if I could, I really would tell you guys why. So I lusted after someone, and that was it. Is it a call to sin? I don't know. Is it bad? Should I go and talk to a priest? Should I go and talk to a schoolmate? Whatever. That comes down to that person's decision. The way I was raised, I'd go and sit down with people in general. But the way that I wasn't raised is to complain about everything that you go through and struggle with. It's one of the things that one of the first 1,000 things that I've learned is you can live 100-year life or whatever. And my neighbor died back in November, and it's been eating at me ever since. Which is one thing that this life is precious, and what you put in it, if you have a dream job, go after it. If it's a porn star, if it's a music artist, go after it. Your dreams, you can make everything happen. You don't need to have anyone's exception. You need to go after what you desire and what you think that is right and wrong. But I say listen to parents and make sure that no matter what you say, just know God always loves you. And he wants a relationship with you. He doesn't just want a relationship with me. He has a relationship, but there's a lot there. So even though that I did drugs, alcohol, pornography, and hospital, and then coming back to relationships, I can tell you that in their life, they would say that I was the horrible person ever, but that's one reason why I watched it, is because I can't stop coming all over everybody. And it doesn't seem to be seems to be a tradition that my family wanted to continue passing along my seed to every single person. So if you're looking for a relationship, or if you're looking for something, hit that notification and let me know. We'll slowly get back to you. I also have social media platforms. I would like to tell you guys, if you subscribe, you can end up you're not just helping me, you're helping our kids. You're helping my kids that are slowly growing up. So because of all this, I'm looking to meet you guys soon and have a great time. See you guys very soon. And happy new month. We'll see you guys in a few days. Maybe tomorrow, but it may be later. Who knows what's going to happen. But we love you guys and appreciate when you guys do that. We're actually teaching our kids over time what right and wrong is. Don't smoke. Don't drink. Make sure to cross on the crosswalk. Don't ride into your bike in the road. Stuff like that. So it's a very weird thing. But if you're in a dating life, keep up the good work, because I'm proud of myself. And I really like it. Watch it. I really, I recommend if you need someone to talk to you, shoot me a message or whatever. I'll be here all year, and let's go. Have a good night, and who do you think is going to go to the Super Bowl this year? I know it's not even August, but we got like a little over a month, and then they're actually in practice right now. So see you guys in the next one tomorrow or later on. We'll see. Happy June 2nd.